All right, so in part 3, we're going to go ahead and create the red tank, then we're going to move on towards the planes, then we're going to go ahead, do a little cleanup, and then do the final review. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's go ahead and get started creating the red tank now. So pretty similar to what we just did. It'll be a little faster because we can just reuse some of the things. Let's go ahead and select the blue unit 2. I'm going to Control D to duplicate him. There we go. I'm going to drag it. Oops, looks like I lost it. I'm going to go ahead and drag it to this side real quick. All right, let's go ahead and change a couple things. First, starting with the name itself. Let's go ahead, get rid of that 1. We're going to go ahead and change the blue to red. There we go. Let's go ahead and change the tag to red unit. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and remove the current script that's on it. Right click, remove component. All right. Let's go ahead and turn it around completely. So on the Y direction right here, let's make that 180. There we go. Let's go ahead and drag and drop all the script sprites we need. Where is it? Oh, why did it not save the name? I think I forgot to hit enter. Go ahead, make sure that says blue or red. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and find the red tank. Should be towards the bottom. There we go. Drag and drop it in. Perfect. Let's go ahead, open up right over here. Let's scroll down here. Let's also make sure we go to the body and then drag and drop the sprite as well into there. Don't forget we also need to change the layer of this to red. Perfect. All right, and I think everything else can stay the same for here. Let's go ahead now into the red unit 2, the highest one. Let's go to the add component and we're going to go ahead and just call this red unit 2 script. Let's go ahead, add that, let that load. I'm going to minimize this. All right, let's go ahead and scroll on down. Let's double click the red unit 2 script. And simply enough, we're just going to go ahead into the blue unit 2 script. I'm going to go ahead and copy everything, starting from the top and just going down to the last function we have. Go ahead, let's copy that. Let's go ahead back into the script, highlight what we need. Let's paste everything we got, save that. All right, now a couple things we're going to change, of course. At the bottom right here, we can start. Let's go ahead and change these all to good unit 1 and so forth for the rest of them. Good unit 2 weapon. And then good unit 3 weapon. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead, scroll up. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get rid of the negative on the move speed right here. I'm going to change that. There we go. And then also we need to change all the game object tags to blue unit instead of red unit. Let's change that to blue unit. I'm going to double click it, Control C on it, and then paste it on each other one. There we go. And I think that should be it. I don't think we need to change anything else. I'm pretty sure we should be good with just those few changes. Awesome. Let's go ahead and save this, Control S, minimize it. Let that load. All right, let's go ahead and scroll on down. Let's drag and drop everything we need. I'm going to set the health to 9. Let's go ahead, keep distance to 0. Set the hittable layer this time, set that to blue. Let's go ahead and drag and drop all the transforms. So first trigger, let's put it to the first one. And then so forth for the next. And the next. All right, awesome. And I think we're going to leave the target time to 1.2. We might change that. Let's see how it turns out. And the move speed, I'm also going to go ahead and change that to what we had. I think it was just 0.25. Let's go ahead, take that. Let's go back to our project. Paste that in. Awesome. All right, let's make the bullet prefab real quick. And simply enough, we're just going to do similar to what we did. Instead of duplicating it, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new one. Actually, now let's just drag and drop it. Let's go ahead and change the name to red bullet remember to change the tag of it as well to enemy unit 2 weapon, and I don't think we have that, so let's go ahead and create that. Let's go ahead, enemy U2 weapon, create that, select it again. Let's go ahead, change that. Let's go ahead and make the color red. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead, scroll on down, and we're going to change the speed. Actually, you know what? We're going to make a whole new script for this. Let's go ahead and remove the script. Let's go ahead and just call it red bullet script. Enter, enter, enter. Let's go ahead, let that load. Let's go ahead, scroll down again, double click it. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the blue unit script items, and we're just simply going to go ahead and copy and paste the same thing. Paste it in. Alright, and simply enough, we're going to change the minus to a 0. We can leave everything the same except this here. We're going to change to blue unit. Save that, perfect. Let's go ahead, back into the game. Let that load. Might take a second. Alright, let's go ahead and scroll down. And we should, yeah, I think it's 0.5, or it might be negative 0.5. Yep, 0.5 is good. Alright, let's go ahead now and make this a prefab. So again, remember to change the name. It might not like this, but we'll see. Red, there we go. And let's go ahead, drag and drop it into here. It's going to ask if you want it to be the original prefab or a prefab variant. We do want to select the variant one. All right, there we go. Now it's different, but it's still basing it off the same. Awesome. Let's go ahead and remove the one in the game. Let's go ahead, select the unit, drag and drop. We're going to go ahead, drag and drop the bullet. I think it's right here. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and test it out just to make sure it's working, and we can have both the tanks against each other. All right, let's bring this guy right here. Let's go ahead and hit play, see what happens. We got both our tanks, and looks like they're shooting at each other. That's good. If everything works out, they should lose health at the same time. There we go. Awesome. All right, I like it. Let's go ahead and try the red tank now against a regular soldier. Let's move the tank over here. Let's get the soldier over here. Might move the tank a little farther back. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. There we go. Looks like it's firing. Awesome. And it can defeat the soldier. Let's make sure it can attack the base also. And then we should be good. Yep, looks like it's working. Awesome. All right, that's it for this section. All right, let's go ahead and get started making the Unit 3, the plane. So first thing we're going to do, of course, is create it. So let's go ahead and just duplicate one of our blue units again. Actually, you know what? Instead of that, we're just going to go ahead and make it from scratch. So let's go ahead and go to Game Object. Let's go down here to Sprites. Let's go over here to Square. All right, let's go ahead first and drag and drop our sprite into here. We're going to use the blue plane for this. Let's go ahead and find that. There we go. Make sure you're selecting the block though. All right, let's go ahead and drag and drop. There we go. And I kind of like the size being a little bigger. So let's go ahead and give it a new tag now. Remember, we need the good Unit 3 tag weapon. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's create that. We're going to do good U3, capital W, weapon. Awesome. Let's go ahead and select it. Make sure that tag is set. There we go. Also, don't forget to change the name. We're going to do blue Unit 3. Awesome. Looking good. I like it. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's put him right about here. Let's go ahead and add a component. I'm going to do Box Collider 2D. Let's go ahead and simply make it trigger. There we go. Make it trigger. Awesome. We're going to go ahead, drag this over real quick, just like that. All right. Now we are going to go ahead and give this some length to that box collider. So let's go ahead and just simply drag this down here. Perfect. All right, make sure that's set for that. Let's go ahead and give this a new script. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to call this blue plane script. Go ahead, enter. Awesome. All right, and let's let that load. Might take a second. All right, there we go. Now before we get into the code itself, let's go ahead and create an animation for this. Let's go to animation. We're going to go ahead and create. We're going to call this blue unit 3 still for the first one. That one's just going to go ahead, stay there. Let's go ahead and create another one now. Create a new clip. Blue unit 3 attack. Awesome. Let's go ahead, save that. Perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and grab what we need and use what we need. So simply enough, we are going to go ahead and just make this move over and then move back. So let's go ahead and click this red button here. Make sure you're on the attack one. And simply enough, I'm going to go ahead and move this to the 1. Then let's go ahead and just drag our item all the way over here to about there, outside the screen. Awesome. Let's go ahead and see how fast that's moving. And it's pretty good. We could go ahead and let's keep it that. That's fine. All right, we'll keep it there. Perfect. Now another thing we're going to do, so deselect the red button here. Go ahead and drag a box from the starting one here all the way to the end one here. And we're going to right click on that now. And we're going to set the, instead of auto clamped or clamped auto, we're just going to set it to regular auto. Okay, awesome. And basically that's just going to make it disappear once it gets there and reappear here. All right, perfect. Now we're going to go ahead into the animator. Make sure you are selecting the blue unit 3. Scroll down. Are we on the correct one? Sometimes this glitches out real quick. Let me pause my video and reopen my project. That might fix it. All right, looks like I fixed it. So what I had to do actually is I right clicked on the animator. I went and closed the tab. Then I went up to window and I just reopened it right over here, animator, and there you go. Awesome. So make sure you got this here. Perfect. All right, make sure you're still selecting the blue unit 3. We're going to create some transitions. So I'm going to go ahead and create a parameter. Select it right here. I'm just going to go ahead, create a bool, and just say attack. Awesome. We're going to right click on the main one here, make a transition. Then right click on this one here, make a transition back. For the downward one, we're going to go ahead and attack is true. Perfect. And then the back one should be attack is false. Awesome. All right. So far, so good. I like it. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and make this go down a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. We're going to go ahead now and click into the blue plane script. Let that load. All right. Now we're going to add a few things in here. Nothing crazy. Just some small stuff. First one we're going to do is a public animator. And I'm just going to call this B plane for blue plane. Capital P. Semicolon. Then we're going to go ahead and just create a new public void for the function. We're going to do public void. And I'm going to call this attack plane, capital P. Go ahead, open it up. Inside of here, we're going to do B plane dot capital P play. And then within some parentheses and some quotes, we're going to say blue, capital P, plane, not plane, blue, unit 3, attack. Awesome. All right, semicolon. Perfect. Let's save that. Let's go ahead, minimize. Let that load. All right. Scroll on down here, drag and drop the blue unit 3 into the B plane right here, perfect. And then if you remember, if we want to actually use this though, we're going to be selecting the 8 button right there. So let's go ahead and go into the game manager, and simply we're going to go ahead, and I don't actually think we need to go in here specifically, but let's open up the script and make sure it's there. Yep, see, we commented out in the last couple of videos. Let's go ahead and re-comment it. There we go. Should be working now. Make sure that matches up with the name of the script. Save that. Let's scroll down. And I think it should be the last one here. Yep, it should be blue plane attack. And let's go ahead, save that. Perfect. Now we need to set the button to this here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to the game. Let that load. All right. And blue plane script, it's going to be looking for, so we got to drag and drop the blue unit 3 into there. Perfect. And then let's go ahead, open up the canvas and find that button for the third one. And looks like we didn't give it the right name. I think it's that one. Yep, we didn't rename it. So let's rename that so we can, oops, do the button unit 3. There we go. Scroll on down. Let's go ahead and add an on click. Let's drag and drop where the function is, which should be the game manager. Let's put that right there. Let's go ahead and find the script, and then let's go ahead and do unit by unit 3. Perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and let's hit play. And let's just wait till this gets to 8, and then we should be good to initiate the plane, and let's see if it works. If that works, then we'll go ahead and do the red one, and then we should be all set. And there we go, there's the plane. Now, as you can tell, the animation looks a little messed up. Looks like it did attack what it needed to, but it stopped in between. To fix that, let's go ahead. So in the animator, still inside the blue unit 3, let's go ahead and hit this back one here. To fix that, all we got to do is actually just stretch back this repeat thing here. All right, and that should work. Let's go ahead and try it again. Let that load. Once we get to 8, we'll go ahead, try it again. There we go, and there we go. Awesome. Now, as you can tell, though, one other thing, it's going underneath the lake, and that's not good. So we should make this just a top layer. So let's go ahead and make this layer something higher than what it normally is. So I'm just going to do like a 9. And that should work. All right, let's do the red plane real quick as well. It should be very simple. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this plane and change the name to red. And to keep it in the same spot, simply I'm going to do is just change the X value to a positive. And let's go ahead, flip it over, which should be 180 on the Y. And then let's go ahead and drag and drop the the art of the plane. Make sure you're selecting it. There we go, drag and drop it, perfect. And make sure we have the right tag. We might have to create the third one. Let's do that real quick. Enemy U3 weapon. Let's go ahead and save that, perfect. All right, let's go ahead back to the unit. Make sure we select the name. Awesome. All right, and if we scroll down, we're going to go ahead and remove the animator and also remove the script. And simply enough, we're going to go ahead and create the animation similar to what we did. Let's go ahead and do, what was it? Red unit 3 still. There we go. Then let's go ahead and create the next one. Red unit 3 attack. There we go. Awesome. All right, now let's go ahead and create the effect. So red button, let's move this all the way to 1. And simply we're going to make it go across the screen to somewhere about here. Perfect. Red button click. Remember to highlight both of them. right click, set the scale thing to auto. There we go. Awesome. All right, and let's go ahead, reselect the item here, scroll on down. Let's go ahead. Oh, actually, before we do that, remember we got to go to the animator. Let's go ahead and right click, make transition, right click, make transition. Let's go ahead and add a parameter or a bool. Let's go ahead and just put it as attack, enter. Go ahead, the forward one, set that to attack, true, and then the back one, set it to attack, false. And then remember, we got to move this little scale all the way over here. Perfect. All right, now let's go ahead, red unit again, scroll on down. And what we're going to do is create the script now. So add component. We're going to red plain script. Enter, enter. Awesome. All right. And we're going to go ahead, double click it. And simply enough, we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did for this one. So I'm going to go ahead, just copy what we got, paste it over here, and change the attack to red. Save that, perfect. And what we're going to do is actually, we don't need to really include it into the current one, because if you remember, this red plane is not going to be controlled by us, so we're not going to be initiating it. So what I would do, and this is up to you, I'm actually not going to be configuring this, is I would actually go ahead and set this red unit 3 attack, right click it, set it as the default layer, and maybe remove the transitions, because we don't need those. And simply what we would do is actually just make its own animation. So you could go ahead and go to the animation of the attack, and what you could do is simply just keep setting different animations. So currently when the game starts, it would attack. Maybe we didn't want it to attack instantly. So what we could do is set this somewhere down the line and kind of just have it on a loop and just continually set it in different areas. So we could put it there, and then we could also make another one and do the same thing. Maybe we want it after a certain amount of minutes, maybe in 5 minutes, we'll set it to do that, and maybe in 15 minutes, we'll have it do the same thing. So we could just simply add a new one where we go ahead and make it go back. And we go ahead and move it across again. And remember to go ahead and make the transition correct to auto, perfect. And I think it should be good. I think it's going to move back there. So that's not what we want. Remember, we need it to move back. So once we're here, we could go ahead and hit play. What does it do? Let's see. Okay. So it slowly goes back. So we don't want that, of course. So maybe we go ahead and set it. Let's see. Right after, maybe we go ahead and set it back to 0. Or what you could do is just have it on a loop. That might even be easier. So we'll actually remove that. So every 5 minutes, it'll just go off and then it'll wait. So if we start from here, we could just simply turn it off and turn it on. Is that even going to let us do it? Nope. I'll just do the box cutter then. There we go. All right, so simply if we start it, it won't move. And then once it gets to here, we'll go ahead and hit play. Let's say it attacks, and then it'll do it in the next 5 minutes. Awesome. And this will go on a loop, because if we go and red click that, we go back to the project and we find the red unit 3 attack. I think it's this one. Nope, that's red unit 3 still. Let's find red unit 3. That's red unit 3 still. Why do we have 2 of them? It's blue. Where is the red unit 3? There we go. See, it's set to loop. So if you wanted it to loop throughout the game, you could totally do that, and you can make a custom animation for it as well. Awesome. Alrighty, so that's it for this section. Alright, we are pretty much there. Let's go ahead and do a quick little cleanup though to get everything working correctly before I review. So first off, we're going to need to do is of course make all of our blue units prefabs. We already have the tank one, I think, and or not the tank, we have the tank bullet, but we don't have the actual tank itself and the unit. So let's go ahead and drag and drop these guys into our folder right over there. Let's find the right ones. Blue unit 2. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we drag and drop blue unit 2 into our folder. There we go. Now he's a prefab. Awesome. And then also the same thing for blue unit 1. Let's drag and drop that. Perfect. All right, now we can go ahead and remove these guys here. I'm going to delete that guy there. I'm going to delete this guy here. And we can go ahead, and I would like to rearrange this. I want the weaker one in the front, and I want the other one in the back. So I'm going to put him about here, and the other guy here. And basically when the game is actually starting, what you could do if you want to is of course just make more of these units and just place them farther and farther away, and they'll slowly of course come at the enemy. You could also create your own generator for the enemies as well. That's completely up to you. Awesome. All right, so now let's go ahead and drag and drop everything we need into our game controller. So let's go ahead, game manager right here. Remember, we need to set our current objects here and also our spawn points as well. I don't think we made the spawn points yet. I don't think so. All right, so let's go ahead and drag and drop our current units. So if we go down, yep, unit 1 and unit 2. So let's go ahead, drag unit 1 to unit 1. Unit 2, let's drag him to unit 2. And for our spawn targets, simply we're going to go ahead and create a new object. Let's go up here, game object. Let's go ahead and create empty. And I simply want to put 3 in a row right over here. So I'm inside the base. Let's go ahead and let's just call this T1 for target 1. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. Drag it down a little bit, put it right in the middle. This will be T2 for target 2. And remember, you might have to set the Z value to 0 because sometimes when you create an empty object, it gives it like a funny, rare, random one. Let's go ahead. Looks like I forgot the T. T2, perfect. Let's go ahead and make the next one. Scroll that down. This will be T3. Awesome. All right, looking good so far. I like it. Let's go ahead to the game manager. Let's drag and drop each T1, T2, and T3. All right. And that looks good to me. So far, everything looks pretty good. I like it. All right. And another thing we're going to do that I noticed, I think I spelled lose wrong in this. Yeah, I think I spelled it wrong. It was in the one here. Yeah, 2 O's instead of 1. Let's fix that real quick. And also, we don't have to, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be the same anyway. All right, let's go ahead. And there we go. All right, make sure you got that all in. Let's go ahead and just double check that we can generate our troops. All right, let's get to 3, and we'll try this one, and we'll get to 5 and try the next one. Looks like I made him and he got deleted. Now, as you can tell, I don't think it's generating the guy, so there's something going on. Oh, we forgot to drag and drop the buttons on these, so let's do that. So for the button 1, don't forget, let's drag and drop here. Go to the click, we're going to drag and drop where it is, which is on Game Manager. Let's go to the function, and let's go ahead and do the by unit 1 for that one. Let's do the one for the by unit 2. Drag and drop Game Manager. Let's go ahead and find the function by unit 2. Awesome. And because I think this plane is going a little too fast with the animation, I'm just going to disable it for now. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and try again. Let that load. All right, once we get to 3, we should be able to create a troop. There we go. Let's wait until we get to the 5 one. And we got the 5 one. There we go. Perfect. Looks like everything's working as expected. Awesome. And we could go ahead and wait for the next one as well. And there we go. Awesome. Alrighty, that's it for this section. Alright, Congratulations on completing the project. We've created a tower defense style game where we can go ahead, slowly generate points, and then use those points to create our own units to fight the enemy units coming at us in hopes that we can get them across and defeat the enemy base. We learned a lot of different game development components in this. We learned how to make projectile units, aerial units, and then customize our map, learning a lot of C# coding as well, and some raycasting to help identify the enemies in front of us. Now, what else could we add to this game? We could, of course, add more styles of units. We could add maybe some power-ups to the units. We could add maybe some kind of like coin collection that goes along with this. There's a lot of different possibilities that we could use. Alrighty, so that's it. I will see you next time.